Hello everyone. I welcome you all to ATM Creations and I welcome you all to Dot Mandala Challenge as well. Today is day 11 challenge. Let's begin. I need to start with today's story, no? I'll start in a while. All these while I was thinking what story to say. And finally I have a message to share. That's what came to my mind. There is a quote that says, the meaning of your communication is the response you get. To explain it a little more, it's not about what you are saying, but always about how you are saying it. Let's say for an example, at home, sometimes kids' dad use the word fool towards my children. Rarely, not always. And when he does that, kids would feel so offended and bounce back at him. And I used to tell my husband that you shouldn't use such word, or you change the tone of your voice. So the meaning of the communication is the response you get. And he said, you don't use your NLP at home, it doesn't work. I said, it does. It does work for home. And he said, okay, prove me then. So if I have to prove, then I have to wait for a situation when my kids would do something horrible, and then I had to explain it to them. I said, okay. I patiently waited, and I think after a few days they did something that was terribly foolish, and I asked the kid's dad to stay away from the scene and only watch what is happening. For whatever my kids did, I did not shout at them, and they were expecting me to shout at them, but I did not. Intentionally, I did not. And after a while, once everything settled down, I went to them, especially to my elder one, put my arms around his shoulder, gave a pat at his back. I gave a pat at his back and then said, what is this, Krishna? You have done something really foolish. This is the tone of voice with which I spoke to him too. I didn't yell at him. I was as soft as possible, and I spoke to him with an intention to help him understand that he did something foolish. And immediately his response was, yes, Ma, you're right, I'm sorry. Hereafter I'll make sure I won't repeat it. And its dad was so surprised, and he finally understood, yes, it's not about what you are saying, but always about how you are saying it. That's exactly what I used to tell my students also when I do soft skills, behavior skills training programs too. There are institutions where many other people have done the training, but they didn't see any behavior change in those students. And finally, with loss of hope, they invite me. I go do the training. The same day, there will be behavior change. And then when I do training programs, One from the college side, teachers or the dean of the college will always be present in the hall just to see what I'm doing. They don't find anything different, but the behavior change occurs the same day, the very same day. And by end of the program, when students give their feedback, the entire management of the college or that university would be so surprised as to how did I achieve that result. See, I only said, and those teachers say, we also say the same thing, madam, but students never listen to us. But when you are coming and saying, I think they are listening to you. Probably they need someone from outside to come and tell them. I said, no, all the training programs that you conducted for these students, the facilitators were from outside. Yes or no? And then the college management would be like, yes, ma'am, all the facilitators were from outside. Then how come these students did not change? When I ask that question, there is no answer from the management side. Then I tell them, no, now listen, it's not about what you are saying, it is always about how you are saying it. And slowly those people started thinking, yes, ma'am, I think you're right. You don't think it is right, it is right. That's how it works all the time. You know how sales pitch, marketing pitch, all that happens? They all follow the principle of this. The meaning of your communication is the response you get. How many times you have heard sales or marketing people? You know, there are two categories. One who struggle to market their product, who struggle to make a sale. The other one does it so easily, as if it is a cakewalk. And the difference is not what they are selling, what they are marketing, but about how they are selling and marketing. So, once listening to this conversation between me and the college management, there were few teachers who wanted to talk to me in privacy. I said, no problem, when would you like to talk? After talking to the management people, you would go back to your hotel room, no? Tell me, then we would come to your room and meet you. I said, okay, come by around 6:30. Then few teachers came to my room by around 6:30 in the evening. And I sat, and we all introduced ourselves to each other a little bit. We talked about our families a little bit for the first few minutes. And then I asked them, what exactly is the problem you are facing and how do you think I can help you solve? That was my question. So when I asked those teachers about what exactly is their problem, and unanimously all teachers were saying, um, ma'ams, our subjects are actually easier, but don't know why students are thinking that the subject is very difficult. And since the thought the subject is difficult is sitting in their mind, they are not even putting effort to learn the subject. That's what they were saying. And one of the teacher even said, ma'am, it's not only that, their attitude has become like, let me just pass in this subject, that's enough. I don't have to score more. That's the kind of attitude with which they are approaching the subject, and we would like to change that. How do we do it? I said, I'm not a great expert in this area, but one thing that comes to my mind immediately is, instead of teaching the subject, while starting, what you can do is to talk about some of the people who have achieved great in your subject. Let it be subject A, B, C, D, whatever it is. Talk about people who have created positive impact in the society with the help of learning your subject in depth. And when you talk about people who have achieved great results in this subject, will help them understand that the subject is important, and they will also be able to create such positive impact, which will give them an impression that they need to learn this subject, which will make them feel more interested in learning the subject. Only if a particular student is interested in learning a subject, irrespective of whether it is actually easier or difficult, the student is going to put in the effort to learn the subject. That's what I said. And trust me, in the next 3 months, I stayed in touch with those teachers, okay? In the next 3 months, they followed whatever I said in their classes, and they saw a lot of behavior change in their students towards their subjects. And those teachers even called me and said, ma'am, your suggestions work like wonders, and trust me, we are going to follow the same strategy for all the subsequent batches of students we are going to meet in our career. And I didn't teach them any rocket science. I only taught them it is not about the actual subject, but about the kind of impression you create with the students first and how you deliver it. So basically, my intention was to help them understand it's not about what they are teaching, but about how they are teaching it. Now, what I want all of you to think about is, think of situations in your life from your past where consciously or unconsciously you have focused on how you deliver things than what you deliver. And when you understand the other person's perspective and deliver things accordingly, you would have been successful. So mention that story in the comments. Let me read and get more inspired and reinstate my belief that it doesn't matter what you deliver, but it always matters how you deliver it. So here, when I was dotting, there was something that came and then it became a lump there. I'm so sorry about it. Go ahead and share with me about what is your opinion about whatever I was talking about. I mean, the meaning of your communication is the response you get, which ultimately means it's not about what you are saying, it is always about how you are saying it. If you have any specific or a unique experience regarding this, please go ahead and share in the comments so that everybody can learn from each other. Before knowing about this fact that it is how we deliver matters most, not what we deliver, I was wondering how can I make people change their behavior. I was a soft skill trainer since very long, but I used to wonder how come few people are too good in bringing behavior change in the participants, and why am I not able to achieve their results? And then I understood, okay, it's not about what you are saying, but always about how you are saying it. And I learned this concept better when I got myself trained in NLP. NLP is neuro linguistic programming. NLP is whole bunch of communication tools, but NLP works for people who are willing to help themselves. It doesn't work for everybody. And what I mean by willingness to change is if some tool has to work for you, the first thing is you need to be open minded and be willing to change your behavior if the existing behavior is not empowering you. Only if these two are there, any tool that helps others will work for you too. Otherwise, it doesn't. So dot mandala for day 11 challenge is done. Now go ahead, recreate it, share it with me.